Hello, good morning. So, oh, I hear myself. That's not good. So, hey everyone, welcome back to another episode today. Sorry that I'm still doing it in the morning, not rather in the evening. For Stefan, I hear already that it's very hard always to attend, I know. I will try to change that in the future. I don't know if this works this week already, but let's see. And yeah, the live stream for today. Yeah, first of all, I'm searching always for good topics, but this morning I got a message from Tim Sneef's newest tweet, and he was sharing a tweet with us, and I don't know if you have seen it. He shared an information about a tool called Detective from Norbert Coetzee. And the interesting part is not only that he comes close to my hometown, he is also creating Flutter things. And for example, this new tool called detective.dev. So I thought we can do this morning a little bit investigation and check out what it is, how it works, and if it is something that we can use. The first thing that I already found super interesting is that this time there exists a Pro edition. And usually I'm very, let's say, calm with Pro editions, but in Flutter it's a little bit different because there are not so many Pro tools at the moment that you have to pay for. One example is, for example, I get the widget studio from Rody Davis, if you remember that, but I think it's not really supported anymore. So if we check out this guy, it is still on version 1.09, and 5 months ago is the last update. So there is not happening anymore anything. So I was a bit disappointed by that. So I really hope that this detective gets supported a little bit better. And WebRTC we will do maybe afterwards, after we have taken a look into detective, and then we work on that further, hopefully. So no worries, it's not gone. But I was just very hyped about this new technology here, and so I wanted to take a look into it. The good thing is Norbert created a fantastic Medium article about it, and the debugging part in Flutter is currently quite heavy loaded because some problems, or better, it's very hard to find all the widgets that you need, and you have to first click on the different parts to find it. And what he did is he created a kind of searchable list of all widgets that are in your classes. So at least this is what I know until now. So I really hope that if we gone through all of this, that we are a bit better understanding of all this. Seeing the picture is great, but can we do more debug function? The UI is not built yet. Okay, so how would we start with all that? He created it with block pattern here in that case. And yeah, so I would recommend that we just try and take a look how we can start with this tool. So on the website, we find that we can install it with the pub.dev. Hey, I would like to do the WebRTC afterwards of that stream, or work to later on that further. It was just that this package was coming along the way, so I thought I will try that first, because I was more interested at the moment. So yeah, but we can also work on WebRTC further, because I got yesterday also some information on Discord, and we have there a new tool. Wait, maybe I can also show you that. That was also very interesting, because Moel Lael had the idea to check out the Agora.io, which seems to be a possibility to build live stream social media apps, and they do it with a free version of 10,000 minutes. So maybe we can use that as our server at the end. Maybe I can share you the link yet already. Voila. But for the beginning, I want to really take a look into this detective framework. Okay, so this seems like a normal installation from GitHub, which is fantastic. So we can check out the code probably. Yeah, so real-time state inspection tool for Flutter. So is it just for state? Did I something misunderstand? Ah, it's just for state. Okay, so we need an application with a state inside of it. To solve the mysteries, okay. Of the app state, oh yeah, okay. And does it has to be with a specific state management library? Is there any information? VM service out file detective connect txt. Okay, never have seen that before. Okay, it's just an additional argument to the Flutter run. That's good that he created already for both IDEs the arguments, how to set up everything correctly, and then run the Flutter app directory. Okay. So is there an example? Just the install. Okay. It's again one of these packages. All right, so let's check out the README. Maybe here is more on it. So on debug, I did it in Twitter. Debugging mostly consists of guessing the problem. Don't see the wood of the trees. Okay. Detectives to the rescue. Application state at once. For information on how to install, head over. How to use it. First, you have to select the class you are interested in. This typically, okay. Good, then I would suggest that we check out for a project that we have already. And I think one state, what we could do is, I think I have in this, wait, I think we did that with Android Studio, of course. So switch over to Android Studio. I'm today way faster than usually. Hey Papadon, nice to see you. Hey, I also have to set up the chat a little bit better for me, I guess. So, give me just a second in the web browser. So, now I see you way better, and I don't have to look on the other side of the world. Yeah, answer. I can try to answer it. Sure. So here we have the WebRTC demo. We come later to that, but we wanted to check the Powerbill app because there I use a lot of providers everywhere as far as I know, right? So we use the provider package, and I guess we have also a lot of providers here. Yeah, so you can see we have actually some state. Morning Thomas, hey Amit. So, and now let's see. First you have to select the class that you're in. This is typically sort of class holding some mutable changeable state. Okay, so how to start learning? By I would try to learn the core concepts, so following the code labs first, and then I would start slowly to go deeper into stuff. The preview device, yes I do. Thank you, Thomas. So I'm really curious. I think what this does is actually it checks the widgets where the state contains in. So that should work with any state management tool or with any state management library. And you just check out where the state lives in. Class dependency graphs, okay. State time travel, that would be amazing. When the debugging applications are very interesting fact to learn about it. State changes and what causes them. Right now, when the state is changed, there's no going back. Multiple tries and you successfully spend more time. That highly depends on your skills, Papadon. If you already worked with a programming language, then you are able to very quickly start with at least a minimum of an application. And you could try to first write your own application and play a little bit around if Flutter is even something for you, before you start to diving too deep into Dart. Okay, so we activate now the package itself, it seems. So, And what I'm also interested in, the state time travel is not yet part of it, I guess, because as you see, we have a community edition with the real-time inspection of the app state, and the other 3 parts are not there yet, like the state time travel. It's coming soon. So I'm really curious what happens here. So we installed version 0.00. Okay, so today I'm very early adopter. And now let's start this application here quickly. I will do it on the macOS. I hope this works. I know that worked yesterday, not so. Depends on Flutter localization. Okay, interesting. Yeah, the Udemy course is great from Andrea, and also the one from Angela Yu is also pretty good if you want to start to just try and play a bit around. Has Andrea created a new course this year, right? So where's my simulator? Here we go. So just a quick check if everything is visible. Yep, looks good. And let's start up the application. Still we get some problem. What is it? Because electric, it depends on Flutter localizations. Okay. Which depends on Intel. Okay, so why does that already depend on something that I don't have? Let's change to the stable channel. No, sorry for that. I can upload. I really have to use FVM more. I really have to use FVM more. Yeah, and also follow a lot of people from the community in Flutter. I think that is very helpful. It helped me tons in the beginning, just to read what they think and how they work. And also you reach everyone. On Twitter, for example, when I started with Flutter, I had a discussion about colors with Const and so on, and with the how you should write colors. And I think it was my first discussion with Simon Lightfoot. And it's very interesting that, yeah, someone like that is directly answering your questions more or less. Why I'm doing this always in the stream. I could prepare that more better. Sure. Not yet, Minu, but I will check out later as soon as I have time. Or we have time right now, why not? So let's go into it. I guess I have added that down here. Oh no, I removed that from yesterday's stream. So where are we? The app idea, we're in Google Docs. Up. So it is the best idea. Yep, I like it too. Ooh. You really gave a lot of effort into it. The user must ask to log in using the image. The images must be fed from the Firebase storage as per UID. Is it not dangerous to just use images? In the worst case, you could just trial and error, or? Okay. Yeah, sounds like a cool idea actually. Can take a look into it, but right now I want to take a look how this detective works more closely. So where are we there? So actually there is not so much to do, right? So as far as I hear it, we start this detective, we get then this window, we can select one widget in the instance tree or in the widget tree. And if we selected that, we have the possibility to watch at the state. So for provider, that should be pretty easy. And I think for most of the other state management tools too, because they hold the state inside of a widget. Garlene, that's a very interesting question. I would say that was not possible. If you would have to change all the stuff from native Android, that would be a huge work, I guess. So, anyway, what do we have here? Just start with the course or the channel? Yeah, I think Moed is right sometimes. I'm also curious, Thomas, because that would change a lot in Riverpod, right? Because I think in Riverpod this wouldn't be possible then. Oh, that changed a lot, I guess, Gerline. I think we have now a new version in stable again, or multiple new versions in stable. We are getting better of null safety, which is fantastic, and a lot of packages are already migrating. Yeah, so there happens quite fast something, as you know. Flutter is a very fast framework at the moment. So here we go. Okay, so we have here the stuff. This is now just done with Riverpod at the with provider at the moment. We forgot to start it with the right parameters. We can edit that now, and additional arguments was here VM service out file. So that would be this guy. Up. So we take that with, adding that as an additional argument, and let's go. And run in Flutter app detective. Okay. So we run our app and then run a detective, I hope. Ah, right, that is a different application directly. So double tap shift. Ooh. Okay, so it inspects now the whole application from me. So if I search for any, whoop, and it crashed. Okay, let's try that once more. Provider. So, geez. Okay, so I need to be a bit more specific, I guess. Let's see, what do we have? Energy meter provider, for example. So let's search for the energy meter provider. Yep. Select an instance. I do. Ah, fantastic. Okay, so we have now the base meter, HT, NT, and here we see power meter services, all entries. Okay, so there is a lot of stuff happening. And the current consumption is 0. So what we can try is if I enter a new value here, I don't know. Like this. So that should increase the power, and this didn't change anything here. Huh. Maybe it's not the right provider. What do we have else? Loading provider, setting view provider. Can I add more? Setting view. Settings view provider. No instance exists. Okay, so I guess this is here. Settings view provider. We select it. All right, so here's the power provider name. So if I change that, that's quite funky. Okay, so we actually have the chance to directly see changes in the state itself. So if we change here the provider name to superpower provider, it also changed that. And yeah, so that works for that. But how does this behave? Why can I not see the standing charge in that case? Okay, but this means we can have a multitude of different providers here and can check the state simultaneously. Ooh, quite some chat today. Flutter Desktop also gets better and better. That's true. I don't know, do you know anything about Flutter Web, Thomas? I always tell that Mozilla Firefox performance is still very not that good. Maybe you have some knowledge there. I was on a... For any class name? Yeah, I guess. So I can search for, let's have, I think we have here anything inside of the home screen class or, okay, it's the version 000, so we shouldn't be afraid of problems here, right? So, okay, it seems if I have a double, try reopen it. Yeah, reopen. So if I double tap and then I press again tab, it seems to escalate quickly. Good. So let's try that. Home screen. So that is possible. But if you ask for any class, do we have any free class here? I guess in that we have the power meter service, for example, which is just a class that have my business logic somewhere. So with that, let's see if we have the possibility to find. Power meter service. Yeah, it seems that you can open every class that is somewhere in the widget tree, I guess. It's a good question. Let us check. We have also the state management tutorial somewhere, right? So if I'm checking for the state tutorials, yeah, scrolling, and I think general performance with animations also have a big problem, and I'm really afraid that this will stick a while. Have you tried it on Safari already? I'm not that... I should do that. I'm just asking questions, sorry for that. Okay, so we fixed yesterday this part. Maybe that's happy for Thomas to hear, because we had here the get it mix-ins and we fixed it up. Why is that now again a problem? List string isn't available, required for the closure context. No, watch only was the case. What? No, something is wrong here. So where's the commits? Let's roll back. And we change that to watch only, I guess. And with that it worked perfectly fine, and this was the problem. And we fixed it already, and now let's have a look how the detective works here. And I shouldn't do that. We have to add this additional arguments. So, okay. And let's run it. Global variables, I can create one, I guess. So if we just create here a constant like and say this is a new waterfall class. Isn't a const constructor, all right. What do I get? I should maybe just update to the newest version. Permission this starts again. What is wrong today? So we have to go to GitHub. state tutorials, check out getting as HTTPS and change that quickly. Sure, Norbert, nice to see you. I just saw it this morning and thought I'd give it a try. Just look for get it as a class. I will do that in a second. Let's first open that up in a correct manner so that everything works well. So this is done. Let's go here and detective. As a feedback, I can give you already that it crashes as soon as I have this open and try to press shift again. Maybe this could be fixed. So, we search for get it. Get it mixins, get it mix and stream here is the get it class itself, but there is no existing type, so it will be not possible, I guess, to find get it per se. Statement. Here's the drinks notifier in that case. Listenable and the drinks, and this has no elements. Interesting. Okay, is it the right name? Get it drinks notifier, yeah. There. Okay, so could not find detective. So I didn't create the file. Could not find detective connect txt aborting. It is here, I guess. No, okay. So let's try again. No, we don't get a drink. Okay, I have to open it up to see the elements then inside. Perfect. So I can open them and we see now the selected ones and the unselected ones. So if I go here, press on water, we see that it's getting true. Fantastic. This is what I want to see from a dev tool. Cool. Really, really cool. Okay, but okay, it's crashed again. Let's check out for Riverpod. Also here we have a solution. Abort, we don't need that. Roll back, commit. We don't have any changes today. Up, go away. Get it implementation. Okay, let's check that out before I go somewhere else. So here, let's start it up again. Okay, I'm really looking forward to the pro version, to be honest. Really have interest in that, because for me it is always a bit friggly to search first for the dev tools, starting them up, searching inside there, and also like the state changes. If they would be more transparent for me, that would be amazing, because I really like the Redux dev tools, if you know them, and there you can jump between the different states and times and so on, and that would be amazing. Hey Mo, thank you again for yesterday's tip. It really is a good idea. I already talked about that. We are working with Detective, a new tool from Norbert, who is also in the chat. Say, hey Norbert. So get it I forget always that I shouldn't press shift once more. Okay, try it again and starting up. Here we are, and let's go with get it implementation, was it right? Get it implementation. So we find that. And we find an instance of that. So allow reassignment, scopes, global ready compilers. We have a scope. So factories. Do I search for something specific at the moment? Not really, or? Yeah, especially for learning about state, it would be also very interesting, I can guess. Okay, so then let's try it with Riverpod, but I guess this will not work, but let's see. But at the moment there are anyway so many different possibilities and ways, so I can imagine that, or to cover all the dependencies and all the state management tools, it could be very interesting to do. All files changed, okay. In the scope you find the, cool. So I know a solution that has lots and lots in their get it registered. I guess I could imagine that this one gets very big for them. But let's see. So now we can go with the Riverpod. I hope this is now the correct one. Flutter Riverpod. We have the Riverpod, and in the main.dart we have also the Riverpod. Fantastic. Has it started? I guess. So terminal, let's open up the detective and Riverpod. This is the checkbox Riverpod screen. Okay. This is not the state in this case, but let's add that, and drink state modifier. So on arrow controller, listener, state with the 4 drinks. So did I use it correctly? So we have the drinks notifier here. We created this drinks provider up here. So now I'm curious if we see the state changes, but I think so. Yep. So it's really usable for nearly all the state management tools. That's pretty cool. Oh, really? Let's try that directly. So enter and gray. Let's search for, I don't know, Riverpod. Cool. I really like that. Most IDEs need a debugger breakpoint before. Yeah, that's true. I think that's also just possible for Flutter or at least with Dart. It's pretty cool. I think you can, no, even with Chrome DevTools you cannot achieve that, to have a visualization directly to runtime. Ah, this looks also familiar. Wiredash. True. Okay, but that makes it very easy to understand how the state works in your app, and I really like that, because I think a lot of applications, especially the ones that I have wrote, have a lot of bugs in that. So with that you can write better tests, because you can understand where you have to update the state to get your problems. You can maybe revert state. What I would like to see, and I don't know if this is feasible or not, would be that you have like a stack trace to the change of the state, and I don't know how you can integrate that, to be honest, but this would be just an idea. Of the Dart VM, yeah. Perfect. Thank you, Norbert. I already shared, I think, the GitHub repository, else I will do that. This is the Medium article, so let's add that quickly to the video. So up here, getting some insights of the whole streaming live. And here is the repository. And you know what? Here's the Twitter handle where we got the whole information from. And then I think we have everything covered for that. So yeah, it's just not necessarily a stack trace, just where the state has changed the last time. Something like if I clicked here, that I see something like, oh, the on-click event of this widget has triggered the change of the state. As I said, I don't know if this is possible, but that would be amazing. The VM service. Okay, let's check that out. Library access VM service protocol. Okay. I have to admit, I have no idea what this does. Does it give you metadata over the VM, or for simple use of the... The Dart VM service protocol describes to use the service to start the VM with observe flag. The VM will start a web server which services protocol requests via WebSocket. Oh, cool. Ah, so yeah, directly talk with the VM inside. Yes, exactly. So I don't know if I've installed it, but for me, as always, the Redux tool comes into mind if I'm going to DevTools, so Redux DevTools. And I think most of you know that. I have, of course, no React app at the moment installed, but I think you know, if I'm talking about that and show you maybe some screenshots, what I mean with that. So here on the left side you have, I don't know if you can read that perfectly, but here on the left side you have the possibility to jump to the different states that would be already implemented in the roadmap, right? So if we check out the detective.dev page, you can see here that you have inside of the pro version this state time travel. And I think with that we would be also possible to switch between the states, and then we could see who triggered the event. So something like that would be amazing. Yeah, I think what I would like to see is, I don't know if you still remember my tooling for, what was the name? Here, the Dart Coens. There I used a lot of reflection, and I think that could help me here in that case. Okay, I don't find my own GitHub repositories in the last couple of days. I don't know what's wrong. Dart Coens, here we go. So it would be really interesting how this is behaving with the VM, if we can get some information that will be useful there. Yeah, but back to Detective. So I really hope that we are staying updated. So I really hope that a lot of you are interested. How is it going further with that? Do you, or are you interested in something else? Should we try something more? Do you have questions still that we should discover? Do you have already a timeline, Norbert, when you think it will be releasable? So version 1.0? By the way, the alternative would be, right, if you want to know the same thing, you would have to open up the DevTools. All right. Break it. I think I'm very easy. Done. So let's give that back, but just to make sure that you understand how much work it is usually to see this stuff running. So if you have like your app and everything, do you even see the state here inside? So you have instances of drink, but you cannot even open it. So it's getting very difficult to find out which state you are currently in. Or state notifier, drinks, names of drinks. So it is somewhere inside of here. Don't take everything so correctly. Yeah, so you see, if you wanted to see the state in some of the providers and so on, it's pretty difficult, I guess. Is there an easier way? Maybe with the outline tools? Material app, maybe go back. Provider scope. The inspector, maybe. No, still not. So we have the state notifier provider here with this instances of drink, but I cannot triggering and opening them up and looking into them. So this makes it way better with your tool, Norbert. Really great. I'm really looking forward to what it's getting like, or how it will look like in a year or so. Okay. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, but with that, I would maybe switch over to the other topic that we still have, and I will change the topic of the stream, and we would take another look into the WebRTC, if this is okay for everyone. Let's see, we change that to too many keyboards, so this is that. I think that is the goal, Stefan, right? No worries, Norbert. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I try to write with the keyboard. What is... This is the wrong keyboard. Thank you. If I managed to write something, but it's not possible at the moment. Okay, so let's keep the stream like it is. I just make myself a breakpoint, so this gets oops, this one, and do you get the new keyboard from MacBook Air? Or do you have already the M1 chip inside? Is Flutter development still enjoyable with M1 chip? That's the only afraidness that I have with the new MacBook Airs at the moment. So where have we stopped yesterday? Let's open that up, and this is the WebRTC demo, and the other thing was the WebRTC server that we had somewhere. I think the server we had to start with the terminal, right? So let's have a look. The font bigger here in the code since yesterday. Fantastic, and still happy. Where should I make the font bigger? Here on the in the terminal or inside of the IDE? Fantastic. And I will make the font a little bit bigger. Font and change it to 20. Here we go. So. Big enough or even bigger? A registrar. What is happening here? The image is blurry. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Thank you, Thomas, for letting me know. That's new to me. I didn't know that. How could that be that it's blurry? Me. Maybe it is because of the how I scale the image from the Elgato. Let me check. Because I record on my computer, so let's have a switch here quickly. Well, let's see. Okay, is it maybe better? The resolution should be on 1920, I guess. So it's not scaled in any case. It's only scaled here. If I make that a bit bigger, I don't know, maybe better. But on the but this is not the solution, I guess. At least not one that I can use. Okay, then I'm sorry, there is not so much that I can do. I can make it a bit bigger, but I think I cannot solve the other issue at the moment. How do I record that at the moment? Sorry, I just play a bit around and understand. Yeah, it's 1920, it's the best that I could do. Much better, okay. Happy to hear that. Okay, so what did I change and why does it not work? Do you have a broad knowledge about WebRTC, Thomas? Because then I have a lot of questions for you. So. And with all the light, it's getting warm again. Okay, maybe it's just the internet connection. I don't know. Or do you stream with full HD? So this still don't recognize it, and the other one, up. Ah, that was this problem. Okay, so Flutter, no. rm iOS slash pod file and restart. And Flutter clean, because why not? So. Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes it blurry, that's true. Then I try once more to change the text of my live stream now. Let's see if this works now. No. Okay. I don't know why I cannot set it up. That's really a bit annoying. Okay, so back to WebRTC. You remember maybe yesterday we tried to get this app working where we have the server running. The server we run not yet, but we will in a second. So I thought that was on... I guess we don't see here anything, right? If I connect to 0.0.0, 0.0.0, connect, no, there is none, which makes sense. So let's check out, I think that was in IDEA projects. And here we have the Flutter WebRTC server, which receives us WebRTC server, which gives us the Go server, right? So Go, and I think it was in cmd server main.go. Unknown command, really? Huh? Ah, go run. Go run. And here we are. So the server is running, we have to connect, and here we are. And let's have a look if our Android today finds it better. No. So Android still don't find our server, and I still don't have any clue why. And slowly I get the feeling that it has something to do with Android. Has someone a clue why we cannot access our local server from Android? It could be that our server that we have here created on 0.0 point something is internally, and we try, I think Android was somehow different. They tried to access it via the internet somehow, right? Hey Nilesh, nice to see you. So, and with that, we don't have possibilities to access it. So what I would like to see is Android device access localhost. And maybe this is not Android device, this is an AVD, right? So Android virtual device. I think this one is obsolete. How do I connect localhost and Android emulator? Perfect. And we have a solution, 10022, to access your actual machine. As you learned when you use the emulator, refers to the device own loopback service. The problem is we have the server on 000. Currently I'm using, or at least this tool here is using the address 000. And I guess this is not accessible from my machine. So what we maybe have to do is changing this Go server that it used localhost instead of just a random 000. It was more than 000? Come on, my lookback. Huh? What happened? What did I miss? Added the ideas in the community document. Thank you. Wow, doubled it fast. Wow. Okay, so it's wildcard. Okay, so I tried it once more, and instead of accessing here in the Android system here, I tried to enter the localhost 172.1.1.1 and connect. Didn't work either. It's really annoying. So how is the, or where's the problem? So we are here. This is the iPhone running, right? So I'm not connected at the moment. No. Ah, right. I cannot connect. Yeah, localhost is 10.0. Yeah, I got it. So this is 10.022, right? Was the one in the Stack Overflow? Yeah. So we can try that. Connect. Okay. I do, Thomas. I hope at least. What did I miss? So 10.022 and connect. Ah, here we are, finally. So I knew that there was something. So that means we can now, first of all, we see now the other direction. So we see first localhost, this is yourself, and we see the iOS device. So what I don't know if this does anything. Okay, allow Flutter RTC to take pictures and record. Do it only this time. Go for it. Why while using this app? Okay, would like to access your microphone. Okay. Yes. Okay, stream is done. Thank you for working today with me together. No, that is amazing because I had yesterday so much troubles and it doesn't work. So that means now we call each other and we have this nice little server running behind. So we should see here the signal if they are talking with each other, right? So if I talk, now I call myself, makes no sense, but if I call this guy, we see a lot of these informations and it keeps it alive and we don't have any data to send. That is probably because the iOS simulator don't get any video connection. But for our WebRTC example, that would be possible at least. Yes, this works now with WebRTC, exactly. So what we have here, this Go server, comes from the, we did yesterday some investigation, and we found this WebRTC server project. Maybe I find it quickly, Flutter, we can go to pub.dev, and there was the Flutter WebRTC, this guy here. And here inside we will find as a dependency, blah blah blah, the Flutter WebRTC demo. The demo will create you the device or the client side, but what you need is a P2P server, something that provides you the possibility to access that. So here we have a simple Signal server, and this is a turn server. Yeah, Google all the way. The only problem that I see at the moment, or what I don't like, is this one is quite a bit underrated. It's not really supported. So if we want really to work a Flutter WebRTC in the future, we have two really possibilities. One would be that we use this CodeTurn. CodeTurn was the turn server that we found yesterday that is written in C, which is still maintained very broadly. And it's also free and open source, that we can maybe put on a container and put it on an AWS cloud or on Google Cloud or something, and let it run there and try to access it from there. So that would be one option. Or the other option that we could do is that we use a provider like the one that we got yesterday from the Agora.io. And Agora.io is maybe the way to go for the beginning, because it will have less setup time. And what I saw also is that, for example, live interactive video streaming, they provide you 10,000 minutes for free. So perfectly for development time usually. So yeah, pricing that scales with your business, 10,000 minutes are free. So that would be an option. I'm not sure if they also work with WebRTC, but I'm pretty sure they do. So let's have a look. Yeah, 250 per 1,000 minutes. That page was not found. That starts perfectly. But anyway, if we check out the app document that we had yesterday, so I have to go back to Google Docs. Here we go. And here we have the WebRTC part. Yes, I accept that. And here we would, I just want to enter the two options that we have. So we made a small investigation on 16 December 2020. And here we found out that it is feasible with Flutter WebRTC. Then we need a stun server with signaling, CodeTurn on the cloud, AWS or Google Cloud. And what was the other part? Yeah, possible solution would be Agora.io. So, and because we are at the moment, I think that is very interesting to know. So even, I know it will be a bigger project if we really want to go further with that, with the idea of the video real-time app or with the debate club app, but it would be very interesting. But what I want to do first, before we do anything else, is just going through Minu's ideas, because he created this image-based password manager as an idea, if you remember that yesterday. And he added a lot of comments here, as you can see. So I tried to first resolve them all, that we don't see everything in red. So better Google Auth, blah blah blah, take it with, yo. Hopefully I don't destroy anything. Yep. Take it. Wow, that would be amazing. Stefan, that's also a fancy idea. Also, I would have the possibility to work with AR again, which I really liked. So let's see what have Minnow written. So we would have a mobile device and desktop web service. A GitHub repo, he prepared already something. All CUR must be done from only mobile devices. Okay. Yeah, delete is not possible. That sounds like a good idea. Agora, what does it mean? It's Greek, or I guess. Translate. Now, and it's Portuguese. I'm sorry to all. All right, Stefan. All right, Thomas. Thank you for joining today. It was fantastic that you were here to discuss some stuff. Thank you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. So get rid of that. Closing up this a little bit. Fantastic. Okay, so what did he want? So login with Google Authentication. For director to sync with data in the cloud. Okay, image as master password, where you must plot 4 or more points and encrypt the points with key. I don't even understand what this means. So where you must plot 4 or more points. That means you just tip somewhere and you get like a master keyword, or inside the image using steganography. We create an image. So we would draw maybe something like a custom painter. We get an image, and this one would be saved as an EAS key, and then we upload this one to save the image in Firebase. So whenever the user opens the app, the user must be asked to log in using the image. The image must be fetched from Firebase storage as per UID. Make sure the user must not be logged in using the image password. Must not be logged in using the image password. Save the image in Firebase. So when the user opens the app, the user must be asked to log in using the image. The image must be fetched from Firebase storage as per UID. Why should we fetch the why should we fetch the image again? I wouldn't transfer that once more through the internet. Is there a reason? Has logged in, he must have a screen like we do for general to-do apps. When he clicks add button, that must, okay, so it would be kind of the key pass. So if we have, for example, key web, currently we have here a big master password. So let's create a new database, and then it would like kind of look like this. You have kind of entries, new accounts, right? So you can enter like, I don't know, Gmail account, having the password, the username like superduper@gmail.com, a password like random password, and like a key password generator, I guess, and where you can have some metadata. Must be hidden, obscured, if possible, encrypted them too. So like that. Yeah, so that would be this. Randomly generate 6 digits text and encrypt it with the key used in the mobile. These devices must have a QR code, and that must be generated this way. Finds any encrypted text, then it must decrypt using the key we hard code in it. When we get the code, enter the code in the web desktop. I'm still not sure. For this part here, I would maybe do it with like Google Authentication, like 2FA, Google Authenticator. Something like that, or Microsoft Authenticator, to just get a key that you on the mobile phone create this 2FA, and then whenever you log in with something else, then automatically you have to use the 2FA. But the problem is that you still need a password, right? And you want to avoid that. Good question, I don't know yet. Okay, if the scanner finds any encrypted text, then it must decrypt using the key we hard code in it. Okay, makes sense. Okay. So, and then let's have a look into his app that he created already. Maybe we can check it out. But I think the idea in general is that we have like the possibility to create a password that is actually an image, and we authenticate by any image on the phone. There are only one flaw that I could see, because that is something that I personally do, especially because I have a very, very, very long master password that I added, and I would have the problem with it that the phone is still connected with the password. So if someone catches my phone and have access to it, he would be able to see all my passwords because the image is there. Of course, he don't know the image, but it is somewhere, right? It needs to be saved somewhere locally on the phone. So that could be one flaw that I see. And by the way, we can here hang up because I guess this is pretty hardware hungry. So I close one down. Okay, but I like the idea. And let's see what the chat says later. Please don't mind the app name. Most of the, yeah, that is understandable. An e-commerce app would be also interesting. And for an e-commerce app, if we would like to do something like that, I would like to connect that with Shopify. I don't know if you know this. Shopify is like a WordPress web shop fancy thing that you create your web shop in seconds. And I'm not sure if this is possible, but what I would like to do is accessing the Shopify APIs to receive documents that are already existing there. So is there a Shopify API? Then we could do like different stores or access them differently. And as you see, there are REST admin references, so we would be able to receive them too. So is there a Shopify app at the moment? Shopify App Store, WhatsApp Messenger, DHL, so and so on and so forth. So this would be maybe an option. Just an idea, so that a customer in the future could create its own e-commerce app and receive the data from Shopify. And if we don't do it with Shopify, we could sell our own merch, so Flutter explained merch. Sell Flutter explained merch. Cool. And then a game like Cluedo. I like the idea too, because I think game development is always interesting. Also, we could use the power of, for example, Rive to add something. And if it should be AR, Cluedo would be interesting, but I don't know how to get the 3D models for it. Another possibility would be something like, I don't know, like chess maybe, so that you just need a table and you can put it on your phone and you can play chess in AR. I think that would be very interesting against a friend. The problem is you need a friend with an app and you have to synchronize the two chess boards in the AR. But I think that would be cool. Can we create a 3D game with Flutter? The answer is yes, you can. The problem is actually you have to do a lot of yourself. So if you remember, I think we talked yesterday a little bit about Flame. And if you know Flame, here you have the possibility to create a lot of, so it is a Flutter game engine. Yeah, you have possibility to create a game. And I'm not even sure if it can create 3D objects. Views, game finishing, packaging, awesome Flame. Or is it just for 2D bundles? Good question. So let's check 3D game Flutter. So Unity 3D games in Flutter. Let's check quickly this video out. Wait, I have to do that. This is now just Flutter app with embedded Unity 3D AR. Looking for custom designed Flutter app, contact us. Okay, so they created an application. Interesting. So maybe this is something. So you create your app with 3D Unity, which is a game engine that is pretty famous, you know, Unity engine. And then you somehow bundle it with Flutter, if I've understood that correctly. Flutter Unity widget. The example for Unity. Okay. So yes, absolutely, it seems to be possible. If this is a real project, that is fantastic. And it's also MIT licensed, so yeah, that should be possible. Flutter Unity Arcade demo. Run the example Android, iOS. So yeah, that would also be very interesting. So what I will do is adding here into this game part some ideas like 3D game with the Flutter Unity Arcade. Or treasure hunt, or how do you call that if you geocaching is the name, or geocaching. And I think with geocaching you usually have like where you put some stuff, and maybe it would be good that you have the locations where you have something that you can save that somehow, and the AR app shows you the way that you have to go in the real world, you know, with like arrows or something. So I will just take that away. That would be like a game in 3D with Unity. But I have to admit, with the Unity game, I'm not 100% sure if this is even feasible, because I don't know if my MacBook Pro has the possibility to create 3D games. We had to check this. But I think with AR we can work. That would be cool. Oops. How did I do that now? Is it a heading free? Oh, yeah. So this was that, and 3D Unity widget. Wow, that's so cool. I really have to check that out. I didn't know that this exists. I'm not sure if this is all absolutely easy to use or so on, but it's so cool. Even this is possible, so yeah, also another topic that I would love to investigate. Oh, so much stuff. Okay, so a treasure hunt. Like make 30 steps from this tree in that direction, right? So clues on the ground. Is there a translation for Schnitzeljagd? Difficult scavenger hunt. Okay, sounds a bit odd, but something like that. So you go to locations, you search for the clue, and then you go to the next location. That would be cool. That, for example, I don't know, sometimes to do birthdays for children you create something like that, right? So you go to a scavenger hunt and then searching for the different clues on different locations, and you have a group that runs away and another group who tries to catch them with their ideas that they have. Okay, so the cool thing is we have already a lot of cool ideas, I guess, to create. Hey Deepak, nice to see you. As object in AR, yeah, exactly. And maybe like a big arrow, and you could place it like with a geofence somewhere specific. Oh, no worries, you didn't miss anything. So, how many app ideas do we have? I should number them. Sorry for that. So, first, second. And let's change this to the title. It is. And why are you heading once then? Can we change that to a heading 1 and this to a heading 2? So, and I guess at the end of the stream and so on, I will create some on multiple places voting system, maybe underneath of this video or something, where people can vote for a week or something, where to discover the next topic that we will work harder on. So that is 8. Not sure how we will do that in the future, but somehow like that. Yeah, sorry that I always take you away from your hard work. Enjoy your rest of your day, Stefan. So this is heading 2. This is normal text. What? Okay, so this is number 10 and this is number 11. All right. So is there anything open? So I guess what I think is the condolences app is a bit too harsh. I think the topic is not really worth it, and to make it on a live stream I would not be feeling okay with it. It's a very deep topic, I guess. So this here is then an H3. I guess this one is also an H3. Good. So, and this is a normal text. Okay, so now I try once more to change the name of the stream, because that is absolutely not anymore what it does. On the other hand, anyway, I think it's clear. Okay, so we have all of that, and yeah, cool. So I really didn't thought that we will manage to be able to have this connection here running easily. So, and because we have still some time, or I have still some time, like 1 hour, I would like to change the topic one last time for today. And I make myself a breakpoint here, a stream, and at this. So what I would like to do is I would like to take a look into my old package that I wanted to deploy actually. So you maybe remember that I have the Google, what is the name? Google App Console. And I need your help actually, because if you remember, I have still an app somewhere running, and no, Google Play Console is it, I think. And I would like to finally release this application. And because I know, no, I don't want to create a new account. I think I have one. And let's see which one is the correct one. This guy. Exactly. And here we have this Powerkostenübersicht. So, the problem with that, it is still in beta, and to be honest, I was still afraid to finally. It's a news app. No, it's not a news app. But go to the news apps. Is your save? Okay, so I don't know if you know my app that I created. We had a second ago, or in the beginning of this episode, we had a glance at it. Let's open it up new and rebase. Get the newest version. Password, all right. So, and let's start this in the iOS simulator, and let me close off the Android emulator because I guess this is too heavyweight. It's cost me too much power. Why can I? Finally. Good. And the problem that we have here is if I start that up, yeah, the problem that I have here is that I saw that some localizations are not correct, so translations that we can do, and also some parts of the app itself. And as I said, I would like to have that on production ready, that we can really deploy that on a Google App Store and it runs. The idea behind this app is pretty easy. We want to have a standing charge of the month where we get like how much we have to pay, and currently I think I use here a DB provider with SQLite or Flight, and I don't want to change that yet, but maybe in the future. And another thing that I would like to do is just clean up the code a little bit, and it seems, yeah, it reads run, that's true. Don't know how the yeah, but anyway. And what I would like to do is to show you what the problems are, or at least the problems that I see. First of all, it's interesting that the application still has its state, even though that I have to close it off maybe completely and reinstall it completely to delete everything. Jeez. So that means I select this, we remove the app, delete the app, delete again, and start it up. Yeah, so we come to this page, and as you see, I use the localization. So we have here the Intel art files in two different manners, one in English and one in German. And as you can see up here, we have Herzlich Willkommen, which is very German, but we need that in English. So what I hope to see if I go here and change the Herzlich Willkommen to welcome, resolving, updating, what is going on here? Ah, that's the Intel plugin from IntelliJ. So it directly regenerates all of that in this folder. And what's not more, I think there was a new hot reload feature of the Intel package. So normally it should directly hot reload now. But it could be that this was only possible in, how do you call it? Yeah, that was only possible in Visual Studio Code, I guess. So we really have to restart it now. Together. Huh. That's sad. Let me check that, because I would like to have that just for the future references. So Intel hot reload. Flutter. How to hot reload? I know that. It's more about internationalization. Hot reload. I'm so sure that there was an update somewhere that we have the hot reload with the internationalization. The easy localization package? No, I have not tried that yet. Easy loc. This guy. Easy translations for many, low translation in JSON, react and persist to local changes, support plural. All right. No, I have not used that yet. but I think I don't want to bring any other dependencies yet into the application if I can avoid it actually. But it's good to know. Maybe I will check it out later. Okay, I don't know. Should work anyway. Let's go back. We have the translation now. So the provider is our power provider or power supplier, I guess. So I think if I'm searching for translate, power supplier, that's the wrong language. Yeah, that's the right name. So we want to have this. So this is a company that gives us power at the house so that we have energy here. And I think provider name is just wrong in that case. So I don't change the key yet, but I change just the naming. So with that, this should work. Current power provider, power supplier, I think makes more sense. Hot restart, and here we go. So for example, at the moment, let's say we have the Easy Power company that supplies us. We have a standing charge a month from $8. This is now important. So see, I enter now the standing charge per month. So let's say we make 100 out of it just for easier testing cases. And the unit rate per kWh is, let's say, 50, so that we know it exactly that what we have entered. Let's say we have 1000 and 2000 in the meter readings. And if we create now this, first of all, everything is empty. That is the first problem. I think that is very bad user experience, right? So we don't have anything here. If I now navigate and go back again, it's still not there, but if I update, we can see it. And now, as you see, the standing charge is now 50 and the unit rate is 100. So it is exactly the opposite. So that is the first problem that we have. At least the first problem that I see. The second thing is our power meter is actually empty at the beginning, which also makes no sense, which is interesting because the statistic shows that we have a point here. So that means we got already power meters, but it's not visible here. So that seems that we have a problem with the state. If I hot restart, let's see if there has changed anything. So the costs down here calculate now correctly. And up here, the value is also entered. So what I would like to do today is writing some tests for this. So first of all, what have changed here all? Okay, so here has been some updates, I guess. Last build, detective connector. We don't need that yet, I guess. So, and with that we updated the internationalization Intel, commit and push it to the limits. And now let's see what we can work on: database, power meter repository, and so on. Yeah. So, and in order to do that correctly, I want to be able to write some tests. Oh, push was rejected. Interesting. So what do we see? Pushes on behalf of Flutter XP. Please make sure has a verified email address in their profile. Okay. I push on behalf of someone. How is that possible? SSH remote rejected. Committer is not authenticated. Okay, that is a problem with space, I guess. So I work here with my internal space repository, and I guess that my email address that I'm currently using is not authenticated with my user. So let's see if we can add this email address. So down here, add another. Whoops. And save. Verification email sent. So let's check that out. Smart features, of course. Be smart. Go for it. Socials, Datadog, YouTube, promotions, Stadia, nope. Pull it first. You think it's a pull problem? I have doubts of that. Yeah, pulling is working. It's more the pushing. As you can see, we push with the, or I try to push on this account, but he says that my email address is not verified. And now I have to verify that this user has this email address. And for that, I need to add that to this spaces part here. So that has been sent. So maybe it's inside of the spam folder, maybe. Categories, spam, social, updates. I don't see it yet, maybe. Okay, what I could also do is going here, git reset head hub 1, and now I resetted my commit. And what we want to do now is committing the whole stuff, but I have to change the git user. So let's check the git config. Git global. Git config global. No, also not. Config file location global git config and then global get all. Git config low show. Yep. Let's try that. Here we go. So, and as you see, my user email address is at the moment set to this Flutter explain Gmail file. And now instead of doing this, we want to execute this here. And let's say Q and put this inside. And instead of John Doe example, we have the email address max.weber.consultant@outlook.com, which is my general work email address. So global list. Indeed, much better. So, and if I now commit again, so let's commit this stuff again. So update Intel, we commit, we push again. I hope IntelliJ has done it already, but now you see we committed and pushed it. So that is very cool to know how to fix these GitHub problems, because they happen over and over and over again. And it helps if you know how and what you want to do there. At least for me, they happen a lot of times. So read the error messages, really take the time to read error messages. That always helps you. So, but I will remove that email address now from here so that I can work here further. And let's see the project, the electric calculator. Check out the jobs. Oh, cool. We can now create jobs inside with build and test. Ooh. Space, Flutter, it's for the future, but with that it seems that we can run build runners. That would be interesting for me in the future. The thing, I didn't work with that tool a long time now with Space. It's from IntelliJ too. As I said, I'm a big IntelliJ fan. Oh. Okay, and as you see, I made a huge mistake that shouldn't have ever happen, because we are restricted usually. So restrict something else. There are forbidden not files. I want to have a forbidden branch, protected branch. Yeah, normally nobody should be able to push to it. So create a branch, force push nobody. Authorize. No, nobody is allowed to push, at least not normal. You have to create a pull request for that. To push the protected branches to merge their changes when certain requirements are met. Yeah, exactly. So approval from everyone. At least one approval we want to have. So, into master at least. So, good to know. So what I will do now, because I made this mistake, is I will check out the development branch. We get the newest version. We merge the master branch into this guy. Smart merge. And we update. Oh, as you see, there have been a lot of changes. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, let's take it. Okay, this is just generated file, I guess. Yeah, so we can ignore that anyway, because we will update that anyway further. Okay, accept both. Can I? Are there anything left? Yeah. Can be gone, can be added, can be gone, can be added. Yeah. Don't worry, I will fix that in a second. Now the project will be red with the generated files, but what I will do is I will remove that. And if I change now something in that Intel part, so we have here the new power statistics over power supplier, exactly. So let's make here a space or something. And now the Flutter Intel will generate all the files again. So with that we have now a new file with all the language translations, and this is now the correct ones. So we will commit these. Git add. All right. And we can revert this change here. Updated the Intel, so exactly they are the same like before, and we push now that merge into the development branch. The space, I really like that, to be honest. It was a new invention from IntelliJ, and it is for free at the moment. And you can have issues, you can create an issue board like in others, like in Trello, I guess. So, for example, we have here our project board, electric app, and create that. And now you have the possibility to add the new user stories and so on. So I'm pretty happy with that. At the end, it's just nothing else than GitHub. So if you have that free, you can also work with that free. I just like that for my private apps. So because I can chat easier with Mahtab, for example, and she has a better concerns about what we are doing, and I can share with her code reviews. So I don't do anything wrong without her attention. So it's always important to have something where you can work with your team, and that's why I like spaces. And it's integrated, as always, right? IntelliJ. Okay, but maybe in the dev channel, a lot of these problems that we had beforehand are already gone. So I'm not sure with that. So I will remove the app once more, delete, close that off, and start it. And then we will check out also our tests, because I'm pretty sure I wrote some, not a lot, but some. And another thing that I would like to do in the future here is creating creating integration tests, so that our app is automatically testing all the different button clicks that it can do. Okay, so we have our power supplier, super power supplier. Standing charge is 100 or 1000, and the unit rate 50. We have a reading of 1000 and NT reading of 2000. Let's get started. Okay, this is not changed. We can update that here, I guess. Yep. And if we go here, yeah. So something is wrong with the state change actually. And the unit rate is now 1000 and the standing charge is not. So somewhere in between, this has changed wrongly. Good. That means we have to figure out where this happens, and in order to do that we have to where are we? We could use the detective for that actually, right? So what happens if we delete this? Delete again, and I think we have that detective still running. Good. And we have different services, models, we have the power entity, and what happens actually inside of the repository. We create, insert, delete, update. Okay, that's pretty easy and straightforward. My app settings view, power provider. Okay, so we have some general providers on top of the whole screen, right? And let's see if we can use that detective. So here we have instructions, nodes, floats. No, I should search for something that makes sense, right? So this is the repository, this is the UI providers, and here we have energy meter provider, the loading provider, and the settings view provider. So the settings view is the one that I have up here. Loading provider, okay, it's just for loading stuff so that we don't double click on a button and so on. And the energy meter provider, I think, oh, what happens here? I really like old code. That's always, if you come new into something, oh, future init, okay. So let's check out. We have the home screen and the welcome screen. I guess we are at the moment on the welcome screen. We have the provider name. All of these are internal state. Okay, that doesn't look like a very good pattern. I think already here we made some mistakes with state. What do we do actually? We have a text controller and an asset that gets this image. That's fine. Save power provider, that is that, okay. So this is the first time we save something down in the database and we insert something. Cool. Show welcome picture. Okay, it's just extracted from here. And this is a visibility, so media query off. Okay, here I tried to be a bit responsive, I guess. So in the main.dart, what I would start with is maybe to get a new version of our files, just to see if there are new updated versions that we could use. So pub outdated is the name. Oh yeah, a lot of null safety. Do we depend on anything that are resolvable to 0? Two dependencies are constrained to versions that are older than a resolvable version. I think these are these two, right? The FE analyzer. So let's check that out. No, I don't want to do that, because if I start here, I think we have to change a lot of different things. Okay, but now back to our welcome screen. So we have problems with the standing charge. So let's search for that first. So standing charge is here. And we get a power provider entity. How did I do that now? What? Save provider. Okay, this is the power provider, the saving, okay. But we need the value. So we get this from standing charge is the base price per month. Let's change that name to standing charge. I think then we will find that easier. And if we search for that, we need to parse that somewhere. This comes from this text field. Keyboard type is number with options. Okay, this means if I'm clicking here and show the keyboard, yeah, we only have the numbers here. That's cool. We have the decimal numbers. That's also fine. I think for the standing charge, we don't actually need the decimal numbers. We need, of course we need it. And then translate standing charge is the translation. Okay. But somewhere we make a mistake. So here it's fine, right? So we change that here. And now we save the whole thing. And this happens down here at the moment. So what do? We get the power provider ID. After we save the power provider into the database of, in this case, SQLite, I think. So we create this, we say new power provider to map. Okay. And then we insert it inside of a table. Fair enough. I think that makes sense somehow. So power provider service. Why do we have to create it new? That looks already like an anti-pattern. This should be as a dependency injection. I never can test this save provider here. Save power provider db await init. Live coding. Can I change somehow now the title of the stream? Finally I can change it. Good. Okay, so I know this is maybe not so interesting for all of you, but it's also something that I want to work on, and I think we have some time. And if you have questions, always ask, right? More than happy to answer them. Okay, we have our database await init. We get this new provider to map, and we have this working price. This comes from the power provider entity. How is this feasible? So if I'm making a breakpoint, let's see. We enter here our super power provider. Standing charge is 500. The unit rate is 200. And the NT, so console. Next. Okay, let's do two things. Number one, to improve the performance, I will use the desktop version if this is possible. So channel, can we use FVM? I think I have installed it. Flutter pub, or do I have access to pub? Yeah, pub activate FVM. So FVM version 1.3.6, just to check the current version of FVM. Where do I get the, here's the text, so 1.3.6, okay, perfect. So this is the correct version, and now I want to use that. FVM use master is not installed, okay. So one last time we install Flutter today, hopefully, but that's fair. And then we have master finally here on this, and then we can use it and switch easier, then I don't have to reinstall it all the time. Hey Tom again. We can absolutely rebuild this app with Riverpod, but let's be honest, if I always rebuild this app, I think we will be working all day long. I would like to try to get it right finally to the App Store. I want to have one real app inside of the App Store. I don't have that yet, and it's like I always push my projects far away, so I'm always creating new ones, but I never finish one. The Stepic app. Stepic app. We can of course search for it. Stepic app. Best online courses. Okay, I did. Has this anything to do with Flutter? Is it created with Flutter or? Nah, okay. Not really interesting at the moment, but thank you. Up. So FVM Flutter upgrade just to get the newest version. And here inside of our project, we have to specify Flutter. And here we can change the path to our absolute path inside of the file tree. So we are in the project. Let's just make it this way. Right click and copy, and here we have the absolute path, and this should do the trick. Yep, so that is always helpful because it's very important to get the full path of that. So you can take this absolute path here, and with that I hope the Flutter SDK is installed soon, and then you get the full path to your project. That is always helpful. Okay, so but now I get a small error message. Please update your SDK. Okay, so let's check FVM Flutter Doctor. Okay, we have to download all the stuff, and here, important to know, because you don't want to share this version with your team members, and if you do so, you would add all the dependencies to Flutter also, so always don't forget to add this into your git ignore. So, what do we have with unversion files? These are just these two, we don't need that. So what I will do is moving them into an own change list, like detective do not commit. So, and usually what I want to do is, yeah, we can just don't show it. And here we add FVM to our project. Sorry. Up. Yep, I made already some videos for the FVM is Flutter version manager, and I created already a video for that. With that, you don't have to always reinstall the newest version of Flutter on your machine. Maybe I can also share that quickly, but yeah, I think you will find it very easily. Tolligan, I'm not really sure what you are talking about. Like in the one test, the first task is to put words in correct order, then to choose correct in other rest. There, one task is to... Okay, so it is like exercise in where you have like tasks, small ones that you have to learn, or how does it work? So now we have a VM running, and if we are on master channel now, which I hope, did it recognize it already? Ah, now it recognized it. Okay, fantastic. So FVM Flutter config. Okay, but that makes a lot of sense. I think you should try it then. It's more about learning stuff, right? So if I help you now and I just create you a solution, you will not getting better with it. Flutter config, just no, not Flutter config. Important to add FVM in front of it. Yep, now it's enabled. Let's have a look. Okay, I guess I have to restart quickly Android Studio, because probably it doesn't catch up that Android Studio is now activated. The new version is updated. So cancel. So let's see. And here we go. Fantastic. Let's create the app quickly once more, because sometimes it loses some files, especially if you have a different version. Oh, here we go. And sometimes this helps a lot by debugging the stuff why it's not working. This is not necessary, but this part here. So all of these files getting committed via Flutter create on master. Review. Yeah. Flutter create gives you back all the files that have been missing somewhere. So that is that I will always do that when I switch the channels from somewhere to somewhere else, because sometimes you really lose the information where you are and all the files. For example, here, if we check out now the commit, I didn't work on this app a long time, right? So a lot of files have been changed since in the Flutter version. So this is now mostly Android stuff, and also some parts of the XC settings. And with that, I make sure that everything works correctly on the newest version, or at least I hope. But we can try that by running the app. Oh yeah, sure. So if you want to order a list by, the first task is to put words in correct order, then to choose correct. So the question is by what you want to sort, but actually you can use the sort function for something like that, I guess. Really? I cannot update my app because of... okay, I cannot run it on macOS, unfortunate. And I will probably not be able to use the master channel for this app. FVM use stable, yes. And additionally, it's anyway a good idea. And we don't have the app. What a misery. So, and for now I will roll back these, because you never know. So, not that we get a lot of different parts that we don't really need. Yeah, and if you want to work with that, so like, for example, you have a list of words and you want to sort them by length or something. So let's assume, how can we test that the easiest? Just create a test for it. Flutter, so like word sort test .dart. And let's assume we have here a void main. And inside of here we have a test with the description order words. So the easiest way, for example, you have a list of words, I don't know, var words equals to a list, and here is like first word and second word. The easiest way to order such a list is always to use the sort function. And the sort function returns you the possibility, if you take here and look into it, and Mahtab created already a video for these sorts, then you get a compare method. If you don't do anything, it will also sort that somehow. So what you get is that mutable? I think it's mutable. Yeah, it doesn't return anything, so it changes the actual list. So you can expect something like words should be a list of, I guess it will be first word and second word. Up. Let's see if this is true. Let's run the test. It's still downloading. So, and if you have a comparable inside of here, you can have A and B, and both of them are strings. Like A is the first parameter that you get, and B is the second one. And as you saw, you have to return a number. So if you check out the sort function, you see here inside that you have to return a number. And it should be negative, 0, or positive. And usually you do it with -1, 0, and 1. If it is 1, you say that this part needs to be after the second word. If you say 0, then both of them have the same capacity, and if you say -1, this one will be in front of that. So you can check that inside of here and then do something like a.length or compare to, and then have b.length or something. And then you can compare these two. So I would highly recommend to check out the sorts function for you. Good. So the test was successful, by the way. Cool. So we can remove that, and I think Torl again, you will be happy with that and can try a bit around. But this doesn't help us with our problem, not in the smallest. So back to the simulator, getting some space on the side. And I also saw something that I can maybe fix in the meantime, because here. Because on my face the whole time is that weird Flutter explained logo, and I think I can take that off, or I don't have to have that all the time. I think you know where you are, right? So channel, don't we have that somewhere? Community. No, that is not it. Okay, I have to search that later, but somewhere I can change that, I guess. Branding, maybe here, and then I can profile build water, yeah. And just add it here, so. So probably in the future this will be gone, so that's important for me. Yes, but this will be gone with the FVM, because now if I want to change, for example, to master again in FVM, you don't have to download it, and that is the big benefit of FVM in Flutter. So if you have now master again, you see that we just now use Flutter master and we don't have to download it again. Hopefully. Yeah. Well, it just takes a second. So, in any case, now we have again something in the database that's ugly. I think I need a debug mode somewhere that we can just delete the database whenever we want. So what do we see here? Yeah. I think in general this app can have a lot of enhancement, like we could check for null safety if we can implement that. So, and now let's check this power supplier. So we have this to map, we have that, power supplier is ready, go, state. We have the standing chart. Oh, what I could try is this, I have a debugger, I didn't want to, yeah, debug. because what I want to do is want to go to this breakpoint and check out what actually comes into here and why we have the base price per month is changing with the working price. And this is also standing charge. This is wrong. Or maybe this was it. Base price per month JSON. Uh-oh. Do I have the bad feeling that we didn't update that everywhere? Insert. Okay, so we have here something that inserts table creation. No, that is something else, I guess. This is just a test where we created all of that. Create table, this is also the creation. On the other hand, base price per month. I think we have to change that to standing charge, or maybe in the future. Okay, but this is now correct, so you will get the right thing. So let's try it. So first, power supplier. We have a standing charge from $8.80, unit rate from 500, 1000 and 2000. Let's go. All right, so let's have a look. We have var map, a new power provider. What is inside here? The working price is wrong, right? It's the opposite around. The standing charge should be the power. Right, so we're coming closer. So we get this new power provider entity here inside. I will cancel that. So that means somewhere we call this. And here we give this new power supplier inside. And it seems that we change somewhere the standing charge with the other one. That's so weird. So let us create a breakpoint here and restart. So the standing charge and the working price per kWh. Now it's saved correctly. What happened now? No, it's completely wrong. No. It's even interesting because I blocked the app by creating, so it's interesting how this even saved it now. It should actually first save here in the insert, or save power supplier, map db insert, and then we insert again. First meter entry HTNT. This is the power provider and this is the power meter. Okay, understood. So we should forget always that I have to remove the app. Delete. Standing charge per month is 80, unit rate is 1000. Let's make a normal number. So standing charge 500, 1000 for the unit price, 1000 for the reading, 2000 for the reading. Good. We don't even come into that place. I did run again. What do I do? So delete, 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 debugger. So this is happening if you don't have tests running for your application. Then if you don't have tests, this stuff happens all the time. So additionally, we don't belong on the solid principle. As you can see, we have created a class as a service here. So also this is a mistake. We have to change that in the future. So easy power supplier, we have a standing charge of 100, unit rate of 500, meter rating 1000, and this one is 2000. Next. So New power provider, let's have a look. Working price per kWh is wrong. This should be 500. Standing charge is 100. So there is already the vice versa. So standing charge comes from here. And the standing charge is 500. So it's connected to the wrong widget. Okay, this is the problem. Fantastic. So you are the standing charge. Really? Is the translation wrong of the standing charge? Unit rate per kWh. Yeah, this is actually wrong. Okay, so the translation is just wrong. Okay, that makes very much sense. Error unit rate. This is the error message. Okay. And here we get no hint. Ah, here's the hint. Unit rate. Standing charge per month. Okay, that makes sense. That means our translation is wrong. Fantastic. So unit rate. But is this feasible? It's also interesting because if this is wrong, or now better correct, then this has also changed, right? Standing charge is now 5. No, I just turned it around. Okay, fantastic. So now if we remove it once more and we take a look into it, it should now be correct. Models, databases, repositories, UI. So in the welcome screen we have this problem. Do they change so much? What is the difference between them? So here we have a number with inputs, it's true, and we have an input decoration with a hint text. I think I don't use any library. This should be the default from Flutter. So we use these Flutter localizations with the Intel package, and that's it. Facile tag. So easy power supplier. And now this makes sense. The unit rate per kW is something like, I don't know, this, and the standing charge is €8.80. We have an NT from 1000 and an NT from 2000. We say next. We save the whole thing. I think we don't really need that. Yep, save. And now we are coming here and the state is not updated yet. So that's the next topic. So with that, we can already finalize this git pull request or this git push. And what we do is change or update it. Translation for unit price and standing charge. Fair enough, and push. So, and here, do you have a video where you teach how to internationalization? I'm also looking to avoid any package. At the moment, I don't have one, but I will take it to the list of open videos because I think Dominic created a fantastic series about it. So, what is it? Dominic Roskowski, I think is the name. I don't know if he created a video or Dominic Roskowski. No, okay, I don't find it yet, but I will share it maybe in the future. Yeah, I think in Visual Studio Code you also have the benefit of hot reload today, so it should be possible without any issues there. So in IntelliJ, if you like that more, you have also the Intel plugin, this guy. It works also like a charm. All right. So now we have to clean up a little bit in my opinion. So why does the... You're most welcome. So we have these parts, and now the state doesn't change. If we are coming from the welcome page, we insert everything, we save that. What happens if we press on the button? We save the provider, we save for that, and then we navigate with push replacement to the home screen. And I'm pretty sure that the home screen don't get the identification that something changed in the state. So as you can see, this app is absolutely far away from perfect. We use and mix up set state with provider and so on and so forth. So if we want to do that in the future, we most likely have to clean up a little bit. So at the first time we come here, now we never heard about the newest values, I guess. So how should this work? We wait for the save provider. Does this return anything? No. So we push to that home route. The problem is with push replacement that we cannot pass anything into it. So that means we need some kind of state management solution here in order to create the widget correctly. So the home screen cannot depend on anything. So we cannot say something like, hey, the home screen always have to be created with like we have here final state, and we would say that this state has to be passed down into the home screen. So like home screen, this dot state or something like that. So, and if this is not possible, we have to rely on some information. How would it work with at the second time? So how do we get the data from? We have multi-provider change notifier. It's not even necessary to have your multi-provider. Get app bar headline. Why is this so difficult? Current page. We change the different values whenever we navigate through these three. Okay, cool. That makes sense. So the icon settings is this route, so we navigate further to here. Okay. Need some space here. The brightness, this is just for the changer. That makes sense. The icon button, okay. Page view, this is the page controller. Still, I'm not sure where the data come from. So we are on the dashboard. All right, so here we had this first time where I worked a little bit with media queries. I think if you know the very first video that I created since I started with Flutter Explained, you know this app. So, okay, but now we get a consumer of energy meter provider. Okay, and this energy meter provider most likely, yeah, this takes the information from the power meter service. So we inject with the locator the power meter service in order to use it here. And this guy don't get updated with the newest data. Init power provider. So the issue is most likely because this guy lives probably in the main.dart. Is that correct? Yeah. So he never gets triggered with new values. So when do we do notify listener here actually? So calc the cost, calculations of all the costs, get consumption since. Ooh, that is very smart, that thing here. Hey Amish, nice to see you. Oh, Max, what have you done? What have you done? Init power provider. So here we initialize that. When do we call this? At the init meter, so at the beginning. So if the application starts up, we make the first time initialization. The problem is we have to call that once more. And when do we have to call it? When we save the application, before we jump actually into, I guess we get here from the database all the informations, right? Yeah. Sure, I try to answer it, but I try to finish that a little bit off if I can, or at least to get a bit further, because I'm always stuck in questions. So let's see, we have the get current consumption here with that. This is a public method. So actually we could call that from the welcome screen, right? So if we go back to the welcome screen, we could do something like screens, welcome screen down here where we have that. We call these two, and what we could get is I don't know what with the newest version. I think we can even do that a little bit differently. Let's check. So the provider, can we update this version? Provider pub. In my local storage, I need to get specified p tags from the file by using web scraping. So how can I do it? It can be done in Python, Dart, Flutter. Yeah, then just do it with Dart. I mean, where's the problem? If you have it in your local repository, just get it and take it out, and after that you just would scrap it. But it sounds like a lot of work because HTML scrapping is always a bit ugly. I did it once for my stock tool, where I got a Python tool that goes to different HTML sites and get the newest stock values. Was not very ugly, very beautiful, and a lot of work. So await, navigator push is not the way. We want now to get the provider, and I think instead of doing this with off context blah blah blah, we can use something like watch or something, or I think he created that already inside of here. So if we check that out, is there a watch? Yeah, so we have now context watch and returns t without listening to it. So read, we need context.read. Can I use that inside of here? So context.read, no. Change notifier provider, create variable, don't reuse change notifier, reading a value. Read a value by using extension method on build context, or use the static method provider of context, which will behave similar to watch. So I don't want to do this actually, if this is possible. I would like to use this read. The practical question is, where do we do that? I guess in the build function, right? So here we have the possibility with the read, context.read. Do we have to import something? Did I do something wrong? Change notifier, blah blah blah, usage. So home extends stateless widget, context.watch string, and then something. Okay, doesn't sound very efficient, but okay. I have it also done it in JS already, but actually it's some kind of time again passed, so I don't know exactly the solution for that yet, and actually I don't want to sit down and try to do it. So it sounds like a big job that you want to do, Amish, again, as always, whenever you come by. So creation controller, text data, YMD, this is formatting, fine. No, we want to access read. Is it read? No, context.read, get something, and then like this, right? And here we would access the main.dart, what is the name of it? Energy meter provider. This guy. So we have to import that, and why is it read not working? Probably I have to import the provider for that. Context.watch. Methods we can use consumer and blah blah blah, I know, but I would like to try that out now. So why is it not working? So where do we have the provider? Do I have to import it maybe manually? Provider.dart, kind of so. Yes, I think that's it. Yep, all right. So we have now the possibility to read it, and now I can access all these things like init, power provider, and here's date time.now. Good. So inside of that, maybe I can also do that on button press, then I don't have to get that somewhere. No, it's not possible. Okay, so back to the build method. So, and instead of doing it all the time, that would be a bad option, I guess. I just want to read this. This will be my energy meter provider. So, and this is a final. No, or can it be final? I guess. So, and why it's never used, and down here, where's that button of us? Text format, padding, here. Make it dynamic. Okay, that would be awaitable. Cool. And with that, we update our state before we access it. So this would be a solution, I guess. Use promise function and delay to prevent crash. Crash. Are we still talking about the HTML stuff? Yeah, that could be. Okay. So I stick with my task here. Thank you, Deepak, that you are so motivated to answer. No, it's all good. It's just I need to distinguish if it's fitting. All right, so with that in mind, we can try to close that app off and start it again. Or better, we have to close and delete. Oh, it's so much better if you work on an app that you have worked already on, and now you can update it a little bit and see how it's improving and how yourself are improving, how you get better with the different stuff. It's so nice. Of course, it's also a little bit annoying to just jump around and searching for the different stuff. Also for you as viewers, I can imagine it's pretty boring. Okay, so what is it? This is unsafe. Instead, consider using context watch energy provider. If used, context read vulnerability as a performance imp. Try to use context read inside either a build function of the update a callback of a provider. This is unsafe to do so. Instead, consider. Okay, interesting. So can I take that outside of the build function? That is impossible, I guess. So will I be able to do that down here? Oh yeah, okay. So we just take this instead of the energy meter here and do this, and I guess this should do the trick. Here we go. So, restart. Okay, we get the power supplier, fast power supplier. Reunit rate is 28.8, standing charge is €8.80. The meter reading of HT, of day's power and night power, and next. Look at that, updated the state like a charm instantly. Also here we have already our new thing inside. And the standing charge is correct, the unit price is correct, the total cost per year is correct, monthly cost to today is correct. Change over previous month is not correct, I guess, because it's always the same. It should be 0. But that's something we already improved. So, can we test that? So let us think about, can we test this? So at least we would like to test if this method has been called somewhere. So if we press the button, we would check if save provider, init power provider, and the push replacement have been called. So for that, we would create a widget test for that. But I think this is nothing that we will do now, maybe this afternoon. Let's see. But I have to go on the bathroom and I have to eat now with Mahtab, and she's very strict with that. Thank you. Yeah, perfect. I really like that Amish have found someone who can help him. That's amazing. Really like that. So we updated the provider package and improved the welcome screen update state. So push all that, and fantastically. And the next step is to write a test for that. So make this testable. I think that would be beautiful to do. Make this testable. Good, and all right. So thank you for watching this morning. I hope that I can do something this afternoon. If not, we will see us maybe tomorrow. And I really hope, and stay tuned for more content. Enjoy the rest of your day and see you the next time. Bye guys.